Good morning. Good morning. It is Saturday, April 11th, 2026. And as I'm climbing up Highway 74 this morning, I'm listening to a podcast by Rich Roll. He is interviewing a neuroscientist by the name of Tommy Wood, who's at the University of Washington. They're talking about brain health. And this is a topic that's near and dear to my heart because my mother lived the last, I would say, 6 years of her life with dementia. And in the end, she did not know who we were, her children. She knew we were important people, but she didn't know why we were important. So maintaining good cognitive function is something my ears perk up when I hear this topic. So Dr. Wood is talking about a lot of different areas of health, but particularly with respect to exercise. 4 aspects of exercise that are particularly beneficial for good brain function. First is the idea of exercise snacks. So throughout the day, don't spend too much time sitting. Get up, move around. If you're at a play and there's an intermission, always get up and walk around. If you're sitting at a desk working, get up every so often and walk around. Go get a glass of water. Go walk around the block. Do something to get moving. A little exercise snack. Park farther away from the entrance to the grocery store, so you have to walk a little farther. If you have a choice to take the elevator or stairs, take the stairs. These are small things. I mean, if you're able, obviously all of these suggestions depend on what you are capable of, and you know your own limits. But if you are capable of climbing stairs and you have the choice of stairs or an elevator, take the stairs. These small exercise snacks add up, particularly if they become an everyday habit. So that's one. Number 2 is resistance exercise. So that usually means pushing weights, lifting weights, pulling weights, working, doing some kind of weight training exercise. It can also be in the form of calisthenics if you're using your own body weight. Depending on your current level of strength, your own body weight could be enough, something you can do at home. It could be resistance bands, those stretchy bands, but try and work all the major muscle groups once or twice a week. Twice is better. Once is better than none. So resistance exercise. That also helps protect against falls, which is a topic for another day, I think. But in terms of the 4 types of exercise for good brain health, there's the exercise snacks, resistance training. The 3rd category is high intensity interval training. So if you're a person who walks but doesn't usually jog and you're capable of jogging, then high intensity interval training would be walking for a quarter of a mile and then jogging for a quarter of a mile, or increasing your intensity to the point where you can no longer carry on a conversation. So what I'm doing right now is not high intensity because I can, now that I'm rolling downhill, it's even easier to talk now than it was 10 minutes ago. But high intensity means breathing hard enough that you cannot carry on a conversation. So then you do your high intensity, whatever it is, jogging, running, whatever, for a quarter of a mile, and then you back off and you walk again for a quarter of a mile, and then you jog again for a quarter of a mile, and you go back and forth. So that's high intensity interval training. And depending on your level of fitness, maybe that's a half an hour, once or twice a week. Maybe it's 45 minutes, depends. But anyway, so HIIT training is category number 3. And number 4, even the best in terms of cognitive ability, is to do something that requires all different parts of your brain functioning together. Like the most effective type of activity is doing something like learning a new dance step. So that involves muscle coordination. It involves interacting with another person, usually. It means remembering the dance steps. And so you're moving the memory of your mind, you're figuring out what the next movement is, you're using your body, you may be interacting with a partner. It's checking all the boxes of brain activity. Another really good example of this type of activity is learning to play an instrument. Again, your brain is reading music, it's moving muscles to play the instrument, it's remembering how to use the violin, bow, where your fingers go on a piano. You're using all different aspects of your brain in the process of learning to play an instrument. Learning a new language is good, but there isn't as likely to be the physical component as learning an instrument. Another good thing in the same category would be navigating a new space. If you're a traveler and you're trying to navigate your way around a new city and you've got to figure out where to buy your train ticket and where is the train station and how do you flag a cab and how do you remember that you go up 2 streets and turn left at the stop sign and all the things that you need to do to figure out the navigation. You're using your mind and your memory and possibly communicating with people, and you're using your body. Another really good brain activity. So for all of you travelers, it's really good for your brain. So those 4 activities. Now, of course, there's a lot of other things like sleep and having a healthy diet and all those kinds of things. But with respect to exercise, that was his list of 4 exercise-related things that are really helpful to maintain good cognitive function as we get older. So that's my tip for today. And then, of course, all of these things, need to be something that you enjoy doing. So it's not like, I've got to check off my box today. No, don't check the box. Find something that you really like doing and know that at the same time you're doing that, you're also helping your brain. So that's what I'm thinking about today, using my brain. And so that's my tip for today. Have a happy Saturday.